Hello, and thanks again for joining us for another Fathom Live, or maybe it's not again. Maybe this is your first time joining us. Well, we are doing things a little bit differently today, only because we're in a different location. We are hailing from Nashville, Tennessee, so if things go haywire, if the show feed stops, or if just weird things happen, it's because we're in Nashville. We'll just blame it on being here. So we are on the road if things look a little bit different. But we're glad to be with you here today. Why is it important to be a learner as a real estate agent? And what classes should you take? And what benefit is it in the end to educate yourself? That's the kind of stuff we're going to be talking about today on the show with Amanda Graves Rivera. We're so excited to have her with us here. But first, we have a contest to deal with. So every week we do a contest, and if you want to participate in the contest, you just do something very, very simple. You give us a shout out either on Facebook or YouTube, where you're hailing from, what market you're in, or whatever, and any comments that you put on Facebook or YouTube will automatically enter into a drawing. So this week's winner, and I don't have my little spinner thing this week. Again, things are different. This week's winner from the contest from last week is Jason Purcell. Jason Purcell, congratulations. Thanks for participating in the live show. And if you win, you get one of 4 prizes. That includes a yard sign package where you can get yard signs up to $200 worth, a photo listing package, OnTarget transactions if they happen to be in your area, $200 worth of GoSocial leads service, and I guess that's 4. I said all 4 of them. So start shouting out on Facebook where you're coming from here. We've already got some people from North Carolina. Anybody else that I'm missing here? Again, my internet connection might be a little bit slow. Now we have our Houseopedia tip of the week. And if you're a Marie Kondo fan from Netflix about decluttering, you'll appreciate this one. The declutterizing craze, which has forever altered our views on home decor, isn't just a means to a more relaxed living space, it's a way to save money. When you cut the clutter, you know what you have and what you don't. No more running out to buy the scissors you can't find or the red tie buried in a pile of clothing. So do your budget a favor and let the decluttering begin. We'll get that graphic for you on the show notes page here by the end of the day, and you can share that on your social media account. Sorry again for not having the graphic here for you. For me, it's a tape measure. I can never find where my tape measure is, and I have like 6 or 7 tape measures floating around somewhere, so I need to declutter myself. Our sponsor today is GoSocial Agent. The good people at GoSocial Agent offer affordable and effective social media marketing solutions to help agents grow their business, including things like social media account setup, automated posting, agent-branded articles, buyer and seller handbooks, Facebook ad campaigns, and more. This is all to help you grow your online community and generate leads. If you're a Fathom agent, this is pretty cool. You get some of this stuff for free. But even if you're not, it's very affordable. It can help you increase and improve your presence on your social media accounts. You can learn more and get started today at GoSocialAgent.com. So check it out. And it's real good content. They say content is king, and they're posting really relevant stuff to your social media account several times a week. And so you're always top of mind with your sphere of influence on your social media accounts. If you haven't yet, hit the little notification bell on YouTube. That will let you know when we're going live, and you can participate, check it out. The great thing about watching it live, now I know a ton of people watch it after the show. In fact, far more people watch this after the show is over. But the cool part about being live is you can ask our guests questions. So hit that notification bell, like our page. You'll be notified when we're about to go live. And if you didn't catch last week's show with Cindy Joseph, man, there's a wealth of information in that show. And if you've been kind of looking at Fathom, if you want to fast forward to the end of that, there's a good section there just about why Cindy chose Fathom and has grown her business there as well. We're also always looking for live show guests because we want to provide you with valuable content here on the live show. That's what we do. So if you know somebody that you think would make a great show guest, or you think maybe yourself you'd make a great show guest, email us at marketing@fathomrealty.com, and we'll send you an interview form, and we'll maybe have you on the show. That'd be kind of cool. So marketing@fathomrealty.com. All right, all that stuff is out of the way. Today we have Amanda Graves Rivera with us today. Amanda, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hi, thanks.
And Amanda, you are in Zebulon, North Carolina?
Very good. Nice. I mean, everybody from Zebulon can probably tell that we're not from Zebulon because they say it Zebulon, but that's how I say it.
So it's Zebulon.
That's how I say it, but the people who live here say Zebulon.
Yeah, well, I come from the great state of
Weird.
Wisconsin where we have words like Oconomowoc and Waupun and Waukesha and Pewaukee and Milwaukee and all that kind of stuff, and nobody says any of that other than Milwaukee. Everybody knows what Milwaukee is. So forgive me, Zebulon people, but thanks for joining us. Also, if you're watching, do feel free to comment and jump in on the conversation. Again, we'll be monitoring Facebook and YouTube for those comments, actually exclusively. So that's where you'll join the conversation. A fun fact about you, Amanda. Amanda's an educator when it comes to real estate, but you do something different. You make it fun. So maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what could be more fun than CE at sea? I mean, that just says it all right there. I mean, we try to put the fun back in CE and make it something that would be enjoyable and something that people would want to do, because I think a lot of times that everybody thinks of CE as a chore, or they're like, oh my gosh, I got to sit there in class. So why not take a cruise and get your CE out of the way?
CE at sea, continuing education at sea. So you can have fun, and especially on those travel days when you're kind of going in between maybe two locations and you're just you have the big wide blue out there. You can sit in the class and enjoy yourself. So very cool. Now you have real estate deep in your blood as well. So this goes back more than a generation for you.
Was a realtor since 1984, and so I got my start driving around with her, learning about the business, being a teenager and helping her. And then I went to college, and she was like, please don't do real estate, please don't do real estate. Okay, well, if you're going to do real estate, let's at least do it together. And so we started our own company.
Very good. So let's jump into things here. If I can get my show questions up here, I just lost them. This is again the joy of working on the road here. Actually, what I want to do as we start out here is ask the audience, as we're going to talk about classes and about education in general. So this is for the audience. What class, since you've been in real estate, has made the biggest impact on your business? So would love to hear it. You can share it with everybody. What class, maybe it was a seminar, maybe you went to an event, but has made the biggest impact on your business, or maybe the light bulb came on, or you implemented some sort of process that helped you generate more business or become just a better person and a better agent altogether. So go ahead and share that. But I want to ask, for perspective here, Amanda, let's take North Carolina as an example. How many class hours are required for an agent to take within a year?
Well, a realtor who is already a full broker only has to do 8 hours of CE per year. So they would have to do their 4-hour update class, and then they would have a 4-hour elective of their choice.
All right, and for our viewers here, Amanda's screen is frozen there, so we'll throw a picture of you up there, Amanda. Sorry about that, everybody. But we can still see it. Yeah, I don't know if you need to turn your camera on or off on your with. Yeah, no worries. And again, it might be our Skype connection here in the hotel, so forgive us. But as long as we can hear, we'll keep pressing on here. So again, how many for North Carolina are required for continuing education?
Have 8 hours each year. They offer a Gen Up class that would be just a general update, and then they offer a Bic Up class, which would be a broker in charge update, and those are 4 hours, and then you would have a 4-hour elective on your own, so 8 hours total. 8 hours total.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like that is adequate, or do you feel like that's bare minimum, or what would you say from your perspective is a good number?
Well, obviously that's the minimum that's required. So whenever they say that's the minimum, obviously you can do more, and I think that's what separates not necessarily good from bad, but agents who are possibly more productive is that the ones that go out and do more than just what's required.
So let's just jump right into it then. Why is education so important, in your opinion?
Well, there's so many agents. Just in North Carolina alone, there's 106,000 agents in the state of North Carolina. So what would you do to set yourself apart from all the other agents in North Carolina? If you wanted to, per se, focus on 55 plus, you might want to take, education on seniors or how to help them adjust to an empty nest situation. Maybe you like dealing with first-time home buyers and you take some accredited courses on being an accredited buyer's representative or first-time home buyer. It just depends on how you want to diversify yourself in the market to make yourself different from the other 106,000 agents out there. What can you do to say, hey, I need to talk to this person. Hey, this person is an expert on this topic, and make them remember you for that feature. So it helps, I think, in this market, if you don't stay relevant, you won't be in the business very long.
Right. One of the things that we talked about previously too, when I was able to talk to you before the show, was we in 2008 we had quite a significant event where a lot of agents dropped out of the business, and not having those extra that extra reinforcement of education and things that distinguish you are going to leave you as a lot of white noise in the industry as well. And nobody has a crystal ball. We might just cruise on through what was normally kind of the dip in real estate, but things do appear to be cooling. And so would you say, that's an important aspect of it as well, having that education?
Absolutely. So diversification is something that I've said in the past. Like the real estate bubble that happened 2008, 2010, there was a lot of people that were caught where, I'll give you myself as an example. My husband was a builder and I was in real estate. And so we had all of our eggs in one basket. And when the market crashed and there wasn't a fallback for us, we really had no other form of income. And so we had to diversify and kind of step outside of our happy place and look for something that we could do other than real estate to have an income. And so while you're making good money and while you have the opportunity, it's a good time to educate yourself on something else. Like maybe you want to learn about solar energy. Maybe you want to learn about greenhouses and really go after a niche in the market so that if something does happen to the market, that your services are still needed so that you can continue to be, in the real estate field, even if something catastrophic happens. You might say, like, I'm a real estate appraiser also. We didn't really talk about that from the get-go, but I'm a realtor and an appraiser. And I can always kind of switch gears and do appraisal when real estate is slow. And that diversification allows me to stay in the real estate field, but continue to make money on a more consistent basis. So that's why I think education helps, because not only can you learn more about your craft, but you can also do different segments of the craft that you're in to, plan for that, hopefully, event that may or may not happen. But if it does, you're at least prepared.
Right, and here at the Leadership Summit, somebody threw up a graph on the screen just talking about the opportunities as an agent, or just opportunities within real estate, and you have so many different paths that you can jump on without ever having previously had any education. Besides like the continuing education classes and getting your real estate license, but talking about getting a 4-year degree or an associate's degree or a master's, whatever, there's just a lot of opportunity in real estate. And so what you're saying is make hay while the sun shines, and really
that's great. I use that all the time. I do. I use that one all the time.
Prepare for when things aren't hopping like they have been in the market. Outside of particular subject matter, and by the way, guests watching or viewers, I really apologize. I think we might be having some glitches here with our internet, so forgive us again. This is just kind of the life on the road. We hardlined it into with an Ethernet cable, but we're still having kind of slow internet speed. So sorry if we're cutting in and out here. But outside of just a particular subject matter, do you find that classes do more for you as an agent, right now in your business as well?
Oh yeah, because I'll be the first person to admit I'm not a spring chicken. I used to think that I was computer savvy, and as you can see from the technology troubles that we're having today, you never can be prepared fully for technology either to work or not work. But so you might have to take, instead of an education about real estate, you might need to take a class about how do I use my phone to make videos? You may want to take a class about how to do effective CMA searches. You may want to take a class about, staying relevant in a digital age. I've been on Facebook for a long time, but I know that Facebook is something I'm very comfortable with. Now, if you told me I needed to do Twitter or something else like that, I don't know that I would be that competent at it. And one of the things that we learned is that it's not a matter of whether you go digital, it's a matter of how well you go digital at this point. If to stay relevant in real estate, you have to use the computer. You have to be capable at using the tools that are provided to you. And if you're not capable of doing them, there's a place where education can step in and help not only ensure the longevity of your business, but also make sure that you're able to fully utilize all of the things that we have available to us.
Right. So there's a matter of not getting left behind. There's a matter of new avenues of business that you may not have explored. So one of the things that we talked about as well on the phone too, that I thought was just a really, really great insight, is that when you're sitting in a classroom, sometimes the subject matter that's actually being talked about spurs ideas that really doesn't have anything to do with the subject matter, but you come away from a class with a lot of energy and a lot of ideas about your business. We were going through some sessions yesterday here at our annual leadership summit, and they weren't talking about anything that I was jotting down, but I'm jotting down all of these ideas that are coming to mind, kind of as a springboard from what they're talking about as well. So you might get into a class that's on social media, and then all of a sudden like some time management stuff comes across as well. So there's just so much to education that helps you kind of open up your mind to new ideas.
I completely agree. I've been in the business 22 years, and what happens is that if when at the point where you think you know everything, that's the moment where something's going to happen that assures you that you don't know everything. So if you're in a class, you may be sitting there and get absolutely nothing from it, and then until that one moment comes, and it's just that one nugget that you take away from that class totally can just revolutionize your entire business. And you may find out you're doing something wrong, or you might hear of a great idea. Oh, wow, I knew that, but I forgot about it. And I think that's the important thing too, is that so many of us, we know these things, we've been doing it for 20 years, but oh yeah, that's right, I forgot that. And it's a reminder, it's a refresher so that you can get back and take that back to the business. You go and you tell other people about it. They hear the energy that you have about it, and you carry that energy back into your business. I think people are like batteries. They get drained, they get run down. And when you go to take classes, you get recharged, and then you take that business and that energy and put it back in your business.
I want to ask you a question here in just a minute, but I thought maybe this would be worth asking the audience as well, and see how people respond. But the question is, why don't agents take classes? Or why is it typical that an agent is just taking the bare minimum when there's a lot of even free stuff out there, opportunities to take classes as well? But before that, so I'm going to ask that. If you guys have ideas, start jotting them down in the comments section. But you mentioned a couple of classes that that would be possibilities of taking. Anything else that you find that would be great for kind of current issues, class opportunities that agents should take a look at?
For me,
either from you or Yeah. This is for you, Amanda, not for the audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have the video. I don't have any video at all, so it's like I'm kind of chewing off of your auditory. I'm chewing off of auditory cues, and I'm not trying to step on you right at the end. But one of the things that I say that people think, oh, it's boring. I don't have time. It's too expensive. And you're exactly right. There's people out there who are offering free classes all the time. You just have to be connected with it, or you have to be open and receptive to it. There are plenty of free opportunities to get classes that lenders offer, insurance people offer, FHA, Fannie Mae, North Carolina Housing Finance offers a lot of free classes. They've got one coming up in January that's 4 hours. You can use it as your elective. They're offering it free, and they're giving us a lunch, which is amazing. So these are the things that if you're open and receptive to, you need to be out there and looking for. And believe me, what's going to be more expensive, paying for a class or having spent all this money on real estate and now you're not successful? So to me, right, it's kind of a pay to play world, in that if you're not putting money and you're not investing in yourself, who else is why would anybody else buy your product? You're not even investing in yourself. You don't believe in yourself. So if you're showing that you're educated and you're showing that you're informed, you're showing your clients the value that you're providing to them because you're going to be knowledgeable. And to me, that in itself is priceless. It goes beyond price.
Right. Well, very good. So I guess I
don't know that I answered the question.
Oh, no, you did. So any particular the one about why don't agents take classes? I'll see if there's any comments here.
Ask that.
Yeah, it looks like we are freezing a little bit here on the live stream. But any particular content that you find is currently really relevant for agents if they were to take some sort of elective?
Yes, that they're, especially in North Carolina, we're responsible for knowing how to measure a house. They have put it back on us that, realtors are responsible within a 5% of the square footage. If you don't know how to measure a house, you need to find somebody that can measure houses. So you could either take a class in learning how to measure a house, or you could look at an appraiser, find somebody who knows how to measure houses and get assistance for them. But, ultimately, if you want to learn more about how to measure houses, I think a good class on how to measure houses would be great. If, like I said, if you're not technology minded, some of these classes on how to use KV Core, especially the stuff that Fathom offers. Oh my gosh, they have so much stuff that they offer on how to do things in the back office that are free. If you go into the KV Core stuff and you look at the videos, there are so many videos on how to use KV Core. There's videos on how to do Facebook. They do stuff all the time to help. And these are free things. Yeah, you're not going to, get a CE credit for it, but it's actually going to add value to your business. And it's going to be something that you could do in the privacy of your home. You don't even have to take away from your day-to-day business.
Now, this is just for a little bit of inspiration for our agents. You're a very busy person. You teach classes on a regular basis, right? And you also lead a team, but you also do some production yourself, right?
Oh, yeah. I sold 12 houses this year while being a realtor, while being an appraiser, a general contractor, and an instructor. Not everybody, I'm not trying to set a bar. I'm not trying to say that everybody needs to do that, but that's the energy that I bring into my business is I don't just teach it, I do it.
Right. And that probably gives you, it's kind of a symbiotic thing between those different industries. You can be a better agent because you are an appraiser, because you're a contractor. You can be a better contractor because you're an agent. And so you've really developed yourself into more of a well-rounded real estate person by doing that. But I wanted our audience to hear that because, again, there's a lot of complaint that you hear from agents about, I don't have time. And
you gotta make the time.
There's that. Well, yeah, and there's the statistic that if you're selling a house, if you're selling 12 houses in a year and you divide that in hours on a 40-hour week, you're spending 160 hours per house, which is a lot of time. So if you invest that into education, you might find, some other avenues of business and also ways to make yourself well-rounded. So I'm just throwing that out there for agents that maybe it's like, I guess I could do some more stuff. I could make myself a better business person through those things. On that note, what are there any particular books or a book that you've found to be helpful for an agent, outside of the classroom where they might pick up and improve their business?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody has their favorite real estate book, but I actually go back to the basics of selling. To me, the fundamentals of selling will go across industries. They'll go for advertising, they go to real estate, they go to car salesmen, all these things. The fundamentals of selling to me are like, this one is How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins. This book was written in 1982. And even though it's not technologically relevant, the stuff that's in it, it talks about people and how to relate to people. And if you can't relate to people in our business, you can't do it either. The technology is only one aspect of it. You still have to sell houses to people. Computers don't buy houses right now, at least. Right. So the How to Master the Art of Selling, and we talked about education, but, Grant Cardone or listen to some of these, what I call motivational speakers, to me is a much more worthwhile pursuit than listening to just the radio. So if I'm going down the road, I'm going to be playing, some sort of motivational speaking or something like that, so that I'm learning while I'm in the car as well as learning in the classroom, because you might get a nugget from that right before you go to sell something. And oh my gosh, that was the one thing that pushed the deal over, was the quote from, whomever it was. And right. That closed the deal. So you've got lots of opportunities that are not just sitting in a classroom. You can do it online at night. You can listen to audio tapes in the car. I personally prefer it live with a teacher, but not everybody can do that. They can't sit still that long and pay attention.
Right. And there's a lot of other great content out there as well. That'd be something too. If you're watching, even if it's after the show, let us know what's your favorite podcast that helps you in your business. Maybe it's real estate related. Maybe it's just about sales or doing business or time management, organization, that kind of stuff. If you have a particular podcast that you find very helpful, love to hear it. Hopefully this is helpful for you as you watch week by week. We have a comment here. It says, Greg says, business is unlimited and classes help you meet other agents, which can sometimes lead to referrals, home builders, etc. It's a relationship business, build relationships, and business follows. Any thoughts on that?
That's a great comment. I mean, I actually enjoy classes. I go to classes too, because there's a lot of people who don't know how to measure houses. And as soon as they find out that I'm an appraiser and we do measurement services, I'm sitting with 30 people who could be my future clientele. Right. So it's always good for me to kind of set myself out from the class and say, hey, I'm here to help. If y'all need help, let me know. And see, that was one of the things I think about education is when people see you as a source for not only information, but for services and stuff, you're going to differentiate yourself from the crowd too, that they know you. They'll pick up the phone and go, hey, how do I do this? Before they'll even look it up on Google. That's amazing. Right. You know what I mean? So
right.
Anyway, I don't think I answered your question. But
It's great. It was great. So classes can be a great networking event. And chances are, if there's people trying to make themselves smarter, you're going to be around smart people at those events that might be able to give you some coaching tips as well in your business. So you take advantage of. Go ahead.
No, you did that. That's it. I mean, that goes back to, the 5 people you hang around with, that's where, if you take the 5 people that you hang around with and divide their income by 5, that's what you're going to make. Because if you hang around with turkeys, you're going to be a turkey. If you hang around with eagles, you're going to be an eagle. And if you're in classes with people who are trying to better themselves, you're naturally going to better yourself. it rubs off. It's like it's an energy that is, not only you're going to take the energy back to your business, but it's going to rub off on everybody that you're around, and they can see that you're engaged in your business and you're actively participating in it.
Very good. I'll give you the last word. Anything else that you want to add before we let you go, Amanda?
No, well, when you asked me, you said, there's an old adage that says those who can't do teach. We try to, not discredit that, but that's exactly what you're talking about. Is that a lot of times you see teachers, people who cannot work in the business, and so they resort to being educators because they don't want, or they can't be successful in the business. And I actually have people all the time. They're like, why do you do these free lunch and learns? Why do you give away all of your secrets? And to me, my answer always is the worst thing that we can do is we have this gift. We've been given this great gift, and I'm just a good communicator. I take my information and I give it to people, and I can actually physically see the transfer of information to them, and that they're going to take this knowledge and do something with it. And the worst thing that you could do as a human being is take that knowledge to the grave. Your job is to pass it on to other people so that they can also be successful. And that's what makes you successful, is your ability to, help other people and to make them as successful as you are.
Very good. I really appreciate your insight. Appreciate your time. And I know this is very location specific, but you do offer classes on a regular basis. Do you want to say anything about that, or how people would reach out to you?
Well, there's a whole bunch of Fathom agents in the Triangle area, and Wendell is only about a 20-minute drive. If people can get a class together of 15 or 20 people, I wouldn't be opposed to going to Cary, Raleigh, Durham, wherever you want to have it. And we teach the real estate gen up and the real estate bic up for anybody who wants to take that class. We do offer a discount to Fathom Realtors for these classes. We also offer a CE class on how to measure a house, and we offer a class on CMAs, which is something that realtors can do that you're not an appraiser, you can't do an appraisal, but you could do a CMA. And a lot of people really like that CMA class because we talk about how to do adjustments and stuff like that, similar to what we do in appraisals. So in closing, I would say if anybody out there is listening and they have an office and they really don't want to go to a class in Raleigh, but they'd like to have it in their office, if you can put 15 or 20 people together, just give me a call and I'll be happy to come out and teach it just to your group.
All right. Should they find you on Facebook, or do you have a number you want to share?
Our office number is 919-366-6600. Super easy, 366-6600. And on Facebook, it's 5 County Realty at Fathom Realty, obviously. And I'm Amanda Graves Rivera, both on Facebook and on my instructor realtor page also. So
awesome.
I put the Graves in there so that, otherwise I still have my husband's from Puerto Rico, so that Rivera part, otherwise you'll get lots of Spanish women that aren't me. but that way you can actually find me, because like there's Smith. A lot of Amanda Riveras on there. So I put Amanda Graves Rivera on there to kind of differentiate myself and set it apart so that you can actually find me. But anyway, so that's me. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to ask, and obviously do anything, classes or whatever y'all are interested in.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. We'll let you go. Thanks for your time and some great comments as well. Again, if you're still watching or whatever, tell us what you're learning from. Share some books, podcasts, that kind of thing, to help others continue in their education as well. Before we let you go, of course, Fathom is a growing company. We offer 100% commission, 100% commission in the tools designed for your success, and it's more than just saving money. It's having the ability to reinvest it back in your business, and we give you the tools to do that. We give stock with every transaction, KV Core, truly affordable healthcare, a paperless transaction management system, local district director support, and even though we're sort of a virtual company, our agents come together and they meet together and they do this. They share what's working, what's not working, and there's iron sharpening, iron happening there between agents. And there's a lot more. There's a lot of also affiliate programs that you can jump into as a Fathom agent. A lot of free stuff. Visit fathomcareers.com if you want to learn more about that. And if you want to talk to a local leader in your area, fill out that join form, and they will be happy to reach out to you. Next week, I really, really don't want you to miss next week. We have Dan from happygrasshopper.com here, the company Happy Grasshopper, and they are experts in being able to reach your database, to be able to connect with your database, organize your database, etc. And I'm really telling you, you don't want to miss next week with Dan. He has an amazing story, both just personally as he's developed businesses, failures he's learned from, as well as just the success he's had in this. So Dan from Happy Grasshopper, we're looking forward to having him. You say happy too many times. We're looking forward to having him next week, same time, 1:30 Central Time on Wednesday. We'll see you then.